forget that with Comic-Con, people bring in
Sure.
Welcome to Entertainment Weekly's Comic-Con studio. I'm Sam Heifel, and I'm joined now by the cast and team behind Severance. I feel like one of the most talked about shows of the last year. Oh, did you want to say something?
I was going to. No, I wanted to ask why you don't have a microphone.
Oh, I'm loud.
Ah,
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So they can hide the microphone and you don't see it.
Can you not see
No, I
it?
guess
I was like, it's pretty
not
obvious.
No, you know what it is? It's your hair. Your
Oh,
hair
sure.
is-
Yeah.
Ben, I've said it before. I'll say it again. You should be a private detective.
Incredible powers of observation.
That's right.
Well, as I told you all, I watched the show in 2 days, which was an incredible experience. And I felt like I was behind, and I don't like to be behind when people are talking about a show, so I did that to myself. But you've told this story before, but just for the purposes of this, I want to talk. Where did this all start? Where did this idea begin?
Yeah, it came from just my own corporate misery
Sure.
and deep unhappiness. I was working at a place. It was a company that makes and repairs and ships doors. And so it was sort of this weird, surreal little, underground, windowless office.
Yeah.
And
See, I've never heard of a door factory in my life.
I think this
Where
is
did you tell this story?
I think this is the
Are there
only
really
one.
door factories?
I think this is where all the doors come from.
Oh,
See, that's
wow.
the mind of
Are
Dan
there more
Harrison.
doors or wheels in the world?
I've been asked that. I think wheels.
Okay,
but,
I think so too.
Yeah, because a knob is a wheel. But
Oh.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
yeah,
That's why he's Dan
Wow.
Harrison.
that's my theory.
A knob is a wheel.
You heard it. You heard it here first. Yeah. So I just was, on one hand happy to be working anywhere, but on the other hand, very walking in every day and not really doing something that I loved or wanted to do specifically. And so I just caught myself walking in one day and being like, my God, what if I could just sort of boop ahead to 5 p.m.
Yeah.
and suddenly have my whole workday be done? I would totally do that. And the rest of the idea just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah. Well, now that you've created this huge thing, would you sever?
I always said no overall. I wouldn't let them put the chip in.
Sure.
But there are definitely certain days where it's like, if they were one day only, you can sever today,
Sure.
I would absolutely do that.
Sure, that makes sense. I do want to talk about creating kind of the visual style of this show, because as we were just talking about, there's not a lot of windows. There's a lot of white. You're dealing with a lot of white hallways and things. What were the conversations about, how you want this to look?
I mean, it was sort of dictated by what Dan wrote, which was this sort of underground floor. And we talked about it, and, there's so many things you do. Hallways, there's walls,
Yeah.
there's desks, and we just tried to think about an aesthetic that kind of would feel a little bit timeless. We didn't want to really delineate exactly when it was happening.
Sure.
And, and then just a combination of our production designer and cinematographer and all of us kind of just looking at a lot of reference pictures of different things we thought were interesting, because we did know a lot of stuff was going to happen in that main MDR office.
Yeah.
So, what I like about it is that because it is so bland around them, it really just sort of brings the actors out, and it becomes about what the actors are doing. 6 or 7 episodes in that room and that cubicle, you really kind of run out of different ways to do it.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is you realize that's what's not important really is, really that aspect of it. It's what's going on with the characters. So I think it really just kind of brings that out.
Yeah. But then inevitably, Helly will take off in a sprint, and you'll have to film something entirely different.
Yeah, that would be exciting when, oh, wait, somebody's going to run. Or somebody's going to go around, turn around a corner. It's this is action.
Yeah. For those of you who do play severed characters, I'm so interested, is it almost in a way like you're playing 2 separate characters? What's your process in terms of that?
Yeah, so my character is severed, and I'm mostly in the perspective of Helly, who
Sure.
has no clue who she is. I sort of approached it as 2 aspects of the same person. embodying the duality of being a rebel versus a rule follower, and that we have both of those things within us. And then, my outie is often
No
just...
spoilers.
Oh,
Yeah, we're live.
did I...
No, I live in fear of spoilers.
Oh, my God. Did I just spoil it?
No, you didn't.
No.
Oh, my God.
No, you're
My
just a
whole
little
body
warning.
just went, turned up 10 degrees. I was like, did I just say something?
No, you're good.
Anyway,
No, you were great.
duality.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
Yeah. I mean, Adam, you probably have to do it the most of actually, playing two characters, playing the same character, obviously, but...
Yeah, we were kind of thinking about it for a while before we started, and kind of what we landed on and what ended up being sort of important to Dan and Ben and I was that it feel like that both Innie and Audi, Mark, feel like the same guy, but just maybe different parts or halves of the same guy, and one, has 40-odd years of life experience of joy and sorrow and all the stuff that goes into the full life, and then the other one is for all intents and purposes 2.5 years old,
Right.
and doesn't have and so it sort of became almost like a math problem of kind of either adding or subtracting just life experience, and then however that manifests physically or with the voice or anything like that, we just sort of played around with till we sort of landed on something that felt right.
Yeah. I have to say one of my favorite parts is whenever I would see him crack a joke in the work setting or just something, and I was like, oh yeah, his 2.5-year-old personality is
Right.
in there.
Thinks that's hilarious.
Right.
Adam's a master of playing the kind of office humor guy, the guy who kind of maybe thinks something is a little funnier than it actually is.
Sure.
And so it was fun to watch him do that. And
Ben's favorite thing is when I'm in the office and act like a douchebag a little bit. He just loves it.
Yeah.
Sudoku.
Yeah. That was his favorite line in the whole show.
Well, for the actors, how much did you all know going into season 1? Did you get the full season laid out? Did you know that you guys were married? Or were you surprised at somewhere along
oh
the
my
way?
God.
Season 1 spoiler. That's allowed, right? I think that's allowed.
We're all married to each other.
Yes.
The show was a marriage of sorts.
Sure. Yes, that's obviously what I meant.
We're married to our work.
That's right.
Yeah.
My first introduction, I got pieces of it.
Okay.
When I got the audition, I didn't know anything about the show. All I knew is that this guy is a company man, and he follows the rules. And so I had to build off of that. But then as the script started to become more and more available, I just had this mind explosion as every episode was becoming more accessible. So it was a joy to be able to read it initially, and then to step inside of it, and then actually watch it. It was just so much fun.
Yeah. What has you all's experience been with fans? Because it does feel like they're very vocal. Everyone's very excited about this. Have you guys run into fans of this show?
I will say I think one of the most interesting and disconcerting moments has been people telling you what your character has done wrong.
Oh.
And they're like, really? You didn't know before that? How? Or commenting on your character's relationship and being like, are you okay in that marriage? We're not married.
Right.
But
right.
yes, that's been interesting to have to sort of break that down for people.
Yeah, I've been amazed at how invested people have become in the world and the specifics of the world, and kind of filled it with their own ideas. And,
Sure.
the questions of, what the numbers mean, and, just even paintings in the show. And they kind of look at everything and find meaning within it, and sometimes there is. But it's also, sometimes people are just reading stuff in, which is really cool too. Yeah. And so that's been great to see how invested people are in the reality of the show.
Yeah. Has any fan guessed correctly where you're going that you know of?
Not completely.
Not
no.
completely.
No.
Okay.
There was somebody who had a really interesting theory about Rickon and the 3 beds and how that tied into the whole greater mystery. And I was like, that's fascinating. No comment though.
Well, no comment reminds me. What can you say about season 2?
Ben?
Dan?
It has characters and events that take place.
Things occur.
Things occur. We're going to film it,
Great.
Yeah.
so you'll be able to
There will
watch
be
it.
more white hallways, I assume.
Well, yeah, we didn't think there were enough white hallways in the first season, so we want to really expand on that.
Building more.
Yeah. You know, I think there are just these sort of like very obvious questions that were posed at the end of season 1 that, you know, we understand people are wondering about.
Sure.
And feel a responsibility in some way to make season 2 a satisfying experience for them
Yeah.
in regards to that and, you know, the world of the show.
Sure.
I'm excited for new snacks.
Sure. Well, have you started filming? Are you writing? Where are we at?
We are in prep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be filming soon.
Well, here's a spoiler-free question for the actors. What would you like to see in season 2? If there's something you would like to explore going.
You know, I'm so glad you brought this question up because this was something that was really bothering me. I would love it if Milchek could get a stronger, sharper switchblade because I was doing so much hard work to cut that belt.
Yeah.
And I mean that sweat, that was real, ladies and gentlemen, and those who are watching. Like, listen, like that was not water. I was really working to cut that belt.
Yeah.
So
It was a butter knife switchblade.
It's not that the blade was so dull, it's just the belt was very strong.
okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more goats. I mean, I don't know if we get them, but they were so cute to have on set.
I want to see more water sports.
Okay.
It's a good point.
Do we have any? Or you just want some?
If you look closely enough.
Amazing.
I'm really looking forward to more maternity clothes. I don't know that Devin will be pregnant again, but I would like to stick with the maternity clothes because let me tell you, very comfy. Very comfy.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you guys for stopping through. And for everybody watching, stay tuned to EW.com for your Comic-Con needs.
Thank you.